this time and season that people are saying, this prophet's prophesying this thing, this prophet's prophesying this thing, and they're all they're not agreeing with each other or whatever. But the prophets prophesy the part that God tells them to prophesy. There isn't one prophet that's prophesying the whole thing. God has one prophet saying one thing, one side of it, and another prophet saying another side of it, and there's many angles to what's coming. There's a complex time that's coming, and as you take them all and put them together, you're going to have the whole lump. You're going to have the whole thing. And don't say, well, I like what this guy's prophesying, and I don't like what this guy's prophesying. That isn't for you to choose whether you like it or not. That's only for God to choose. And he's the one who determines whether it's going to happen or ain't going to happen. And we seem to do that with life, don't we? We want to pick the part we like. I like cowboy movies. I like gangster movies. Yeah, there's something wrong with you. It's funny. But being real serious here, we've got areas that we're coming into that are portions of the Scripture, a lot of portions of the Scripture that are coming into action right now at this very time. And it's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting. You take in Isaiah 11, it talks about the 7 spirits of God and how man will move in the 7 spirits of God, and how a bear will lay with a calf and all that. There'll be times of peace, and it goes in that. And then in the 12th verse, it says, and in that day thou shalt say, O Lord, I will praise thee, though thou wast angry with me. He's bringing you now back into God. He's bringing the church back where the church belongs. He'll draw water out of the wells of salvation, and the church is again, and this is what we've been doing now for many years. We've been receiving new revelations. The church is getting prepared for the hour and the season that's coming upon it right now. And in verse 12, that's what's happening. And in verse 13, what happens in chapter 13 in Isaiah. So we went through 11, 12, and 13. Now is the judgment upon the world. He's causing his holy ones. He's causing his sanctified ones. And those of his anger, for his anger to come against the world that's been filthy, that's been, and to judge him. And at the same time, in 12, it says he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. That's the church. The world's filthy, and he's going to judge it during this time, and he's bringing the church into a place of fine gold and precious. He's been bringing all that stuff together. And then when you hit the 14th chapter of Isaiah, and you got to read that. You got to read that. But before you do read that, let me read something Jesus the Lord gave me. And then he told me, go read chapter 14. And first he gave me this morning at 3:30. And then he said, go read chapter 14. I went and read chapter 14. I go, wow. We're coming into times. Do you realize that, I'll get into that maybe a little later. Today is a day that the Lord hath made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. For without the joy, I am just another religious man with self-proclaimed righteousness. For in my Lord is unspeakable joy and fulfillment. And who are we, if not children of the Most High, to do and receive all that we are called to, with power and love for all that stand before us, with the call of life on us, and no death on our lips. For we are the living, giving force that only can be stopped by Him that sent us out. For we are an army of light and truth, with salvation on our lips and hands to set free all that will be touched by the word of Jesus. And this life is more than enough. Read Isaiah chapter 14, all of it. That's all I say. Read chapter 14, all of it. You know, when these prophets prophesy, they're prophesying Joel 2, they're prophesying Isaiah 13, and some are prophesying how the riches and everything is going to go to the church. They're prophesying Isaiah 14, how the abundance is going to come back to the Jewish church and to the Christians, to the Israel and to the United States, and how the blessing is going to fall on them. What the Lord has expressed to me is that there's going to be nations that won't receive Him, and there'll be nations that do. And the ones that won't receive Him will walk in darkness. Joel 2. After the church passes through, they'll be in darkness. They won't follow the church into light, they'll be in darkness. That is Joel 2, the whole chapter, read it. And it says we'll walk hand in hand. We won't break rank. Right now, people are breaking rank in the church. It says we won't break rank, we'll walk hand in hand. And everybody will know their place in God. And right now, we don't know our place. Right now, we got prophets. We got people accusing prophets. We got things going on that should never be going on in the church. Brother fighting brother. Trying to, well, this guy said that and this guy said that. It's all the different angles that are coming. And when you read all the scriptures that go along with that, you'll see that it's time, and there's a place and time for all of it. So listen without judging. Just give an ear to it and let God put it together for you. Wait until you hear the whole thing. It says only a fool will answer a question before he hears the whole matter. Don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. Wait to hear the whole thing before you try to weigh it. You see, everybody has their little angles they believe in, and they want that to show up. Well, it's going to show up. But you have to take the whole thing into action with it. You can't just take your little part. You know, God's told me my part. Most of my part has to do with the church. I'm a pastor and prophet. Pastor and prophet, not pastor. I'm pastor. I'm a pastor and prophet. And so my part has a lot to do with the church. What He shows me has a lot to do with the church. But there's other people that's showing what's going to go on in the world, what's going to go on in people that are sanctified and called. What's going to go on with the filthy, that are still filthy. There's all that has to work together, and so take it all in. Don't judge it before you hear it all. Okay, I'm gonna break this off, and I'm gonna tell you that we've got a time that we're walking in It's going to be beautiful for some and going to be ugly for others. Because those that made ugly their champion, now they're going to pay the price for it. And those that made God their champion, now are going to receive the reward for it. That's this time, this season. And it's coming. But first there's going to be a judgment coming. And that's Isaiah 13. There's going to be a judgment coming to the world. And then there's going to be Isaiah 14. Read it. Read it. You'll be shocked at what you read. Because it tells you what Satan is. He's nothing. It tells you what God is, and he's everything. Okay? Read it, because if you don't read it, you won't understand what's going on today. Okay, thank you. Bye.